Hi, I'm Levy Beranbaum, and boy, do we have two terrific cakes for you today. A banana cake with chocolate sour cream frosting and an orange chiffon cake. People are always asking me, is butter really better for cakes? The answer is sometimes yes, sometimes no. You'll find out exactly why in today's episode, so join us. Bananas, when they're overripe, like these ones that are full of brown spots, are really not very good to eat because they're squishy, they're sweet. But when you make banana cake, that's the kind of perfect banana that you're looking for, because the banana, the very sweetness of it gives a fuller taste to the cake. And what's more, when the peel is that thin, you can tell that it's really ripe. And you don't care about the texture because once it gets squished into the batter, texture isn't going to matter. So save all of your overripe bananas. You'll be happy to have them because you're going to love this cake. This banana cake stays especially moist and soft, but it also has a firm enough texture that it holds up very well. It doesn't break easily. I use 2 tablespoons of sour cream for this recipe, but if you want to use as much as a half a cup, it's such a strong structure from the fiber of the bananas that it will just be that much more moist and flavorful. Most cakes have a very delicate balance of ingredients, not this one. You can actually vary the liquid ingredient that much. I'm using whole eggs and lemon zest because lemon zest and banana are so delicious together, and vanilla extract. And this is all the liquid ingredients that are going to be mixed with the dry ingredients. So process until you have a smooth consistency. And now we're going to weigh the flour. If it looks like you still have a few lumps of banana, just pulse it. But it will beat in because the banana is so ripe that it would be okay. Smells delicious. I'm using flour, 2 cups, which is 7 ounces. I'm going to weigh because I like to have the nice soft consistency, and sometimes when you measure, you end up with a lot more flour than you think. This way also, you don't have to sift the flour, because when you're measuring and you sift, you can get a pretty standard amount instead of packing it into the cup. Exactly 7 ounces. And now the cake flour, which is a bleached flour, makes the best cakes, is going into the bowl, along with the sugar. And this batter actually uses a little less sugar than most cakes because we have so much sweetness from the banana itself. Baking powder and baking soda because of the sour cream. The baking soda reacts with the acidity of the sour cream and gets extra leavening, extra rise. And now with the mixer, I'm going to beat the dry ingredients together so that they mix evenly instead of the usual sifting together, which really does very little, because the order that you put it in the sifter is pretty much the order it comes out of the sifter, whereas when you mix it all together, it really integrates a lot better. The butter should be cool room temperature, soft, squishable, but not warm, not melted. And half of the liquid ingredients. You can just pour directly from the food processor. Just approximately half. When I use a handheld mixer to mix cakes, I use it at the highest speed because that's equal to a stand mixer at medium speed. And I'm going to mix for about 3 minutes until I have a smooth batter because the dry ingredients have not yet been moistened. You can see it's a really thick batter, but it will be a little thinner after I add the rest of the liquid ingredients. After the batter is mixed so that it's smooth, I'm going going to put my finger in to hold the blade so that it doesn't fall out, and add the remaining liquid mixture. You can see the banana's been virtually liquefied in 2 parts until it's smoothly beaten in. And once you add the second addition, beat it for another minute until it's completely smooth and thick. And you can see now it's more yellow because of the addition of the rest of the banana. Now here's how to stop beating when you're using a hand mixer. Lower the speed, and when it's down to almost the bottom, lift it out. And that way all of the batter comes off the beaters. Stop, and then remove the beaters onto the counter so they don't fall into the bowl. And now I'm going to prepare the pan so that I can pour the batter into it. First I put some vegetable shortening into the bottom so that the parchment will stick. And the parchment absolutely ensures that it's going to come out without losing crust. Then grease and flour, or use a spray that has flour already in it, and wipe off the edges so that it doesn't bake onto the pan. It gets sticky. And now I'm going to pour the batter in. And it will fill the pan by about half full, because most of my cake formulas or cake recipes that I've done are a certain texture, and they fill the pan half full and then are very light because they rise just about to the top of the pan, and then when they cool they're slightly under it. So I don't even need to level it off, because if I just go side to side, it's smooth, and when it starts baking it will be even. I have one baking in the oven that's just about done. And I'm going to take it out and test it. If I insert a little wooden skewer in, it should come out clean, or if I pat it down and it jumps up by itself, it's done. Some people have asked me what temperature a cake should be when it's done. Around 210, and you know for sure if you're using an instant read thermometer. Now I can make sure that the sides are dislodged before unmolding it, but I always let it sit for 10 minutes, because even a cake with a stronger structure like a banana cake could split if it's unmolded when it's absolutely hot. So now it will sit for 10 minutes while I make the ganache frosting.